Good morning. You are back live with the crew. So good to be back with you. I had a bit of a hectic week last week, and sorry I haven't done quite as much material. But today I have an interesting one for you that I'm really excited to bring to you. We have opportunities that are massive right now. The fundamentals of crypto, and I'm going to say XRP in particular, are off the charts. It's never been as good as it is right now. The players involved have never been larger. I'm talking about global banking, governments, even governments that don't like central banking systems are adopting, in particular, Ripple networks. This is huge, guys. This is very big. You're there. You're not waiting any longer for, well, one day, this and that. Your opportunities have nothing to do with the retail price. Your blessings don't mean, it's 50 cents or $50. You are in the right place. You have the right coins. You are at the point of accomplishment. I'm going to put it that way. It's been accomplished in a fundamental way that has never been before ever in crypto. And they're the biggest players in the world. I can't emphasize that enough. The fundamentals that I hear about and see and read about all the time is there already. We're there. We're like internet there. It's cell phone there. It's happening now all around us. And it doesn't matter what society understands. I had a wonderful conversation. I have an employee, I hate to even call her that. She's a team member and a friend of mine now who is going to help us with our channel. We need all the help we can get, right? And she's a sweetheart and a kind soul, and we're so blessed to have her, obviously. She's always concerned about you and I and the little people of the planet. And Alan, how do we emphasize, how do we get this message across to the poorest of the poor? And I'm not trying to throw the poor under the bus whatsoever here. I talk about this all the time. You can lead horses to water, okay? You know the expression. You can't make them drink. This to me is so key, because feeling bad for the people that aren't going to prosper is not in your wheelhouse. This is not strengthening who you are. Empathy is a fine emotion. It's a great emotion. Is it the best emotion? No. Appreciation is the emotion that you need to have. I'm not telling you what you need or don't need. What you and I have is to appreciate the millions of people who are about to prosper and stop concerning ourselves. Not that we shouldn't, not that empathy isn't a good thing, and we wish that everybody could do this and all the poor people of the world could buy 100 XRP coins tomorrow. It would be a wonderful thing. And I'd like to be part of it. If you can explain to me how we can pull that off, I'd love to do it. I am going to do some shorts trying to entice some people that aren't in the market. Obviously, if you're watching my channel, you probably already have most of these coins. So it's very difficult for me to get the new guy in. The new guy is always the new guy. Was the last one in on the internet. It was the last one in on it, all the prosperity that happens in the world. And instead, I like to really focus on all of us that are going to crush it and we're going to do well, and all of our families and what that will do generations to come after we crush it. I really want to get into a conversation about this BRICS. I can't get too deep. I have some pretty good concepts about it. I believe that there is going to be a big changing of the guard. It's not going to happen this week. It is BRICS week, if you will. And it's not going to be a light switch. It's going to be more of a tide coming in or tide going out in one area of the world and a tide coming in the other. Essentially, it's going to the east from the west, if you will. And it's a slow moving tide, but it is steady, and it is happening now. I'm going to get more into detail. I hate doing this to you all, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to talk more in depth. In my next Patreon post is going to be in depth as to what I believe on a token BRICS future is going to look like. Okay, and that's, you can find my Patreon channel in the links down below. And like and subscribe. And if you don't like these videos that I do, please comment down below and give me the reasons why, or give me a thumbs down, or whatever you like to do. But if you're going to give me a thumbs down, at least tell me why. So where it's all headed is tokenization of all things. So they're not going to tokenize currencies. I just don't believe that's where we're headed. Where we're really headed is we're going to create a new monetary system through the tokenization, coins, if you will, of the new value. I'm not going to call them currencies. We're not going to use, your currencies will only be used within your nation or potentially your continent. And that's just my 2 cents about where I think that's happening. It's really obvious to me now, and many of you who saw my or have heard me discuss market makers and my Bob video a long time ago, and all the videos I've talked about, he and I's discussion since then, it's becoming more and more obvious that the market makers are behind this whole thing. It's becoming more and more obvious what's going to happen to the bond market. I'm going to go over that in my Patreon video. I'm going to go over what the tokenization of all of it means. I'm going to talk about how it relates to precious metals. I'm going to talk about all of that in my next upcoming Patreon video. Again, I know I'm selling my Patreon channel, but it's very inexpensive, and it's a opportunity for you and I, for me to express who I am spiritually. Like, half of my content is, I'll tell you what you would get in that. Half of my content is about who I am spiritually, who my son and my wife are spiritually, and who we are, who I am about the families in which I've worked with. Many of the elite families, and some of the inside scoops that I know about who they are and what they do, and how they've lived their lives. And then the other part of it is very how the whole thing comes together, how the elite families are arguing, and how it all comes together, and how not all elite families are bad people. It's just not that way, and so there's opportunity, and so there are great people in the elite as much as there are really bad people, and that's expressed a little bit more in my other channel. So for today, I'm going to kind of wrap this up with this. You and I have the right coins. You and I are blessed to have them. You and I are in the middle of what has been coined many, many years ago, the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. That is happening now. It's not going to happen. It's happening now. And don't look at the retail price. My best advice for anybody who owns any one of the coins, don't look at the retail price. It has absolutely nothing to do with future value. Future value is use case. What kind of use case does your coin have for the future of mankind? If you own XRP, we're already talking about, look at the players involved with XRP already. I mean, you're talking about Japan, you're talking about Russia, you're talking about Singapore, you're talking about nations, not just banks. Although banking systems obviously are involved as well. I have a document that I read, I'll say a month ago, that listed 60 of the top global banks in the world. All of them already have accounts, already have ways to transfer these coins to and from each other. And a glossary that is pages and pages and pages long of, well, what if this happens? Well, what if this happens? Troubleshooting this and troubleshooting that. And it's A to Z glossary of how to fix any problems that might come across you when dealing with RippleNet, when dealing with an XRP coin. This has already been laid out. They already have code numbers for each other's banks. They already know what the number is to each other's banks. If you look at that, that's bypassing right their SWIFT system. That right there tells you they've already bypassed it. In their mind, they're already going another different direction. SWIFT was used as a weapon, as we all know. That is not going to fly in the future of mankind. All right. Just a bit of an update for you, and I hope you guys got something from this video, and I will be talking to you soon. I want you guys to know that I passed my first boating sailing lesson when I was 10. Became a sailor at 10 years old. I've been on the water ever since. Being a yacht captain for all these years has taught me two things. People's expectation of a great day boating means good weather and a cold beer. Maybe good music. A lifetime seaman equates a great boating trip with when everyone steps on the dock safe and sound. That's a wise seaman. Love you guys.